IVM.
So it's been another great week on IVM, where we try to get you the best podcasts that are around. This week on the Pragati podcast, we have management and mint columnist Karthik Sashidhar, who joins Pawan and Hamsani to talk about elections and voting. On Shunya One, we have Sameer Pittalwala, the founder of Culture Machine, talking about streaming content online and at Creation Through Tech, his journey with setting up Culture Machine. On IVM Likes, we have Abbas, Jaanam and Naveen talking about the meme culture. On the Vishal Gundal show, Vishal welcomes Vivek Bhargav, CEO of iProspect to Communicate, one of the foremost digital advertising companies in the country. On Keeping It Queer, Naveen interacts with queer filmmaker Pradipta Ray, who opens up about what it was like to identify as trans in a culturally affluent household. On Who's Your Mommy, we tackle the weird advice literally everyone gives to new moms. On Cyrus Says, we have Gauri Devi Dayal, an ace entrepreneur responsible for starting several awesome restaurants in Bombay. On Sonology, a unique agony aunt call-in show, Sonu helps his listeners on how to potty train their dogs. It's been a great week on IVM, and we hope that you can check out as many of these shows as you can. And now let me get you onto your show.
Hi everybody, it's Tejas from the Geek Food Podcast, but today is Geek Food Bulletin, and with me I have our producer, Jaanam Diwan. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
What transpired this week, or at least what has happened of late, recently, that we are going to talk about in today's episode, Jaanam?
Once the release of Blue Planet 2,
Yes.
which we watched, and then there is Jungle Book.
Yeah, or Mowgli. That's the name of the...
Yeah,
the Jungle Book is the Disney movie.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, that movie was going to be called Jungle Book Origins. So, but then they changed the name because I think it was too similar, and then they just went with Mowgli.
Okay.
Easy fix. But first, let's talk about Blue Planet 2.
Yep.
So, have you ever watched a nature science, like a nature documentary in the theater? That's why we went and we saw it.
Yeah.
So we went for a screening of Blue Planet 2. Have you ever seen one in the theater before?
No, I have. In fact, I don't think I've seen any documentary in the theater, which is sad.
A documentary, or like you've never seen a documentary in the theater?
No.
Really? Oh, okay, cool. But
This was my first time, yeah.
Okay, cool. So they released a few of them. No, what's strange about this is that Blue Planet 2 actually released like last year.
Yeah.
In like October.
I realized.
But we were just so excited to be able to watch on a big screen, I think.
Yeah. So you remember before the show you were saying like how it's not 3D, but
Yeah.
even though it was 2D, the experience was still so immersive.
Yes, it was. I mean, I think, just the nature of the visuals itself are so like...
Yeah. Of course, visuals are great.
Dude,
Obviously,
it's like next level stuff, man. Like, honestly, so we've done another episode on nature and science documentaries. What was it called? Science non-fiction. No, is that the name of the episode that we did?
No, it was called
Science minus fiction. Correct, yeah. So we did that episode a few weeks ago, so you can check that out for our entire thing on BBC documentaries. But we didn't actually get into this one. We didn't speak too much about Blue Planet 2. The cool thing about Blue Planet 2 is it's releasing on cable television in India like now on a channel called Sony BBC America, which just sounds like
Sony BBC Earth, right?
No. Sony BBC Earth. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
BBC
What
America
is
is
Sony
different.
BBC America?
I was just saying that's a strange title. Why would they combine three absolutely different things? But yes, Sony BBC Earth, which is a new channel that is coming out. And I think they to promote the channel, they did this screening of the first 2 episodes. So it's like watching. The only other time I've had an experience like this is when Netflix kind of screens their like shows, like they do a preview screen. So for Stranger Things 2, they did the first 2 episods in the theater, which I
really?
I went for
What
that.
are you saying? I didn't know, but where was this? What is it?
It was also in Andheri.
I sat at home and binge watched the whole thing.
What,
man.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
so
I
when
didn't
season
know.
2 came out, I watched 1 and 2 together.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
cool.
what I did with Jessica Jones.
Exactly. You seem to have a habit for that. But so they did that, and it's cool. I got like a Stranger Things cap. And
Have they done Cosmos?
No, but Cosmos came out a long time ago.
Yeah,
and it's not a Netflix show. It was.
Right.
It came out like regularly on television.
No,
and
I'm
then
saying in
acquired.
general, have they screened it?
No.
In a
They'll only screen stuff which is like relevant to the time. Like now, do you remember I tagged you in
2019? Yes.
the new Cosmos? It's called what? Cosmos? Can't remember what it's called.
Even I don't know, but something.
It's Cosmos something. It's called, and it's got Neil deGrasse Tyson again, and it's going to be amazing. It's a sequel to a show which came out a few years ago. So so it's nice to see that. But coming back to Blue Planet 2, things I was really enthused by was that obviously it's an amazing documentary. Obviously the BBC can do no wrong when it comes to these nature documentaries. The cool thing is that I actually got to see some stuff. You get to see some stuff in Blue Planet 2 that they could not feasibly do in Blue Planet 1 because the technology wasn't available. And it's something that he says in the movie. They reveal this very James Cameron-esque bubble kind of thing, which he, I guess, used something like that, but not as good as this machine, because they very proudly say, I mean, David Attenborough says, like, this technology has never been used to see this part of the ocean until now. And the moment he said that, I was just like, wow, that's cool. And when they do it in fiction, it sucks. But when they do it in non-fiction, you know that shit is real. So it's cool. So we saw what is the weirdest thing you thought about Blue Planet? What was the weirdest fish or
the
life?
one that changes its sex, man. That sex-changing fish, my God.
My God. Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it was like, it's a big fish.
I think it was
with
a tusk fish. No.
Yeah? It's got a big bulbous head. And basically, it's this dude who kind of swims around and tries and finds, a mate.
Female, yeah.
And the females don't look anything like the male, right? They're like
the males are ugly.
The males are ugly.
But according to the females, they are handsome.
According to that, they're very handsome. I guess that's what every male thinks about themselves.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so these females are very petite. And the thing is, when they get too annoyed, the females just like, they're like, F this shit, I'm out of here. And they go into a cave and they suddenly evolve and they grow a big head and they become ugly and huge.
And they become the male.
That is the weirdest shit. That was weird. That's a candidate for like...
So how do they mate exactly if the females are like running away and hiding and turning into males?
So that's what he said. Like, he's like, it doesn't happen to all the females, but some of them who you just push too far off the edge. Those ones just decide, they're just like, I've had enough. I've had enough. This is a terrible world. I'm going to be a male. Yeah, so that was one thing that I thought that was pretty bizarre.
Another thing I found bizarre was, not bizarre but very fascinating, was the fish intelligence part that they mentioned in the beginning. That fish, I think that was called the tusk fish. I don't know. So there was some.
The guy who basically uses his teeth to pick up a clam.
Yeah, he finds the clam in a corner and he knows where it is every day.
Yeah.
And he goes, picks it up, comes back to his whatever.
He's got a little like like a studio, a home studio.
Yeah.
And he takes the clam, and because it's a shelly object, he can't just eat it.
Yeah.
So he friggin' flings it against a rock and he tries to dismantle it, and
he's at it at like multiple times.
Yeah, that was nuts. It was cool. So I think it was trying to say that fish are like smart and they're using tools. They may not have opposable thumbs, but they have a brain.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
So, and you know what, about any documentary I watch, I haven't watched too many nature ones, but I've watched Cosmos and some other ones. And what I love about these is that while you're watching it, you're just so much in awe of evolution in general. And you're just like, how have so many species evolved, and how
bizarre did they evolve?
Yeah.
Like and this is I think this is the last one. I'll say the rest you guys should check out. But the one fish who basically has a transparent head, it's like glass, and so it's only so that the fish can look up, keep its eyeballs, and look out through its own head. That's messed up. That's insane. Like, just if you think about it, we're so lucky or whatever. We're not lucky. We just are in this weird stage of like evolution where we just decided to become like humans and have hands and talk and do podcasts and stuff. But these guys, they got a transparent head. That's what they got. That's insane. Anyway, that's bizarre. So Blue Planet 2, check it out. I think they're doing a very limited run. So whenever you see these guys, playing in theaters and stuff, I'd recommend you go and just make it a point.
Highly recommend watch it in the theater.
Yeah, because it's so cheap. It's really cheap because it's like they know it's not a big mainstream film, and it's if you go watch it, make a cool Sunday morning out of it. That's the way to go. Cool. So that's BBC's Blue Planet 2, which you guys should watch if you haven't already. Don't forget to check out our previous episode on nature documentaries called Science Minus Fiction. We have one more thing to talk about, which is the
Mowgli.
trailer of Mowgli. What did you think?
It's great. It's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, I love anything that Andy Serkis does. Did you see the first Jungle Book?
I did.
And?
I went for a morning show somewhere in Kandivali. So I think that was Raghu Leela, So,
okay. And did
mine
that?
Was good. I was half asleep because I can't do morning shows. This was like a 9 o'clock one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a hard one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just remember like the whole cinematic experience being very like.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it had a good cast, and Jon Favreau is an excellent director. So he's the one who's doing Lion King now, the live-action Lion King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be pretty nuts. But so these guys were supposed to. So Andy Serkis had a very similar, and like if you go through all these comments and the YouTube comments, the Facebook comments, it'd be like everyone's like, "Didn't we just see a?" Yes, we did.
That was exactly my reaction.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's obvious that this is a different company and da.
This seems more emotion involved and dramatic and more.
Maybe. I mean, I love Andy Serkis's work. I don't know if you've seen the Planet of the Apes series, the trilogy. Arguably one of the most underrated science fiction trilogies ever. It's fantastic, and you must check it out. And also the motion capture that they use, the technology that they use, Andy Serkis uses. He's a master of that, man. Like he's done so many things, from being Haddock on the Adventures of Tintin movie, or being Gollum, or whether it's or Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movie. So his breadth of work is fantastic. He should just get an honorary Oscar just for his achievement in this kind of filmmaking. But yeah, so I'm for that reason alone, I'm really excited about this film, even though it's going to cover much of the same ground. But it looks like there's some more depth to it, because they have this village, this token Indian village with Frida Pinto, the only Indian people seem to know in Hollywood. Except her and Dev Patel, yeah. But I guess they're just like, these guys have been in a movie together, and they flipped a coin.
I can't believe they didn't CGI Dev Patel to like a small baby and use him as Mowgli.
Maybe, yeah. But I think they flipped a coin saying, should we either use Dev Patel or Frida Pinto? And they were just like, okay, let's just use Frida Pinto. So yeah, so that's so the Mowgli trailer's out. Check it out. Give us your thoughts on both of these things, Blue Planet and Mowgli. I don't think they have much to do with each other, but Jaanam says they're both to do with nature.
One's fiction, one's non-fiction.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true, I guess. So check it out and let us know what you think. Contact geekfruit@gmail.com is the address for you guys to mail in at, or you can check out our website geekfruit.in, or we're on all the social medias at Geekfruit HQ. Jaanam, what is your bio? What is your bio on Twitter? What is your Twitter handle? What is your bio on Twitter?
It's podcast producer and occasional retweeter.
Nice. Okay. Cool. Precise. And what is your handle?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Jaanam Devan.
Great. And I am at Tejas Menon, I think. I'm not sure. I think I am. I have like different handles for everything.
Yeah, one has 1989, one is without that.
I don't know why I've done this to myself. But yeah, go check it out. I mean, tweet us. Let us know about your thoughts on both of these things. Cool. See you later, you nerds.
Bye.
He bends down to test the warm water for his bath. He comes here to quench his thirst for a hot shower and some podcasts. You can witness how he enjoys having other people talk about cool stuff in his bathroom. Indeed, it helps him with his loneliness. You can find more of his pieces on ivmpodcast.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.